Good evening, everybody. From Busch Stadium in St. Louis, we bid you welcome to Reds baseball. The Reds and the Cardinals meeting in the middle game of the three-game series, and Cincinnati hoping to make it two straight. As a young left-hander just called up last night from Indianapolis, Joe Price makes his first major league appearance. And on the mound for the Cardinals will be a veteran left-hander, Jim Kaat, who goes into the starting assignment tonight on somewhat of an emergency basis. John Fulgham, a right-hander, was to have started, but Fulgham, suffering from tendonitis in his bicep, was questionable at best. They were hoping he would be able to get through the warm-ups and the game without any problems, but John Fulgham's fate was, again, problems with that forearm, sending Jim Kaat to the mound. So Joe Price, Jim Kaat, a youngster making his first start in Price, a veteran Kaat who is one of six to have spanned 4 decades in Major League Baseball. And we'll be back to take a look at the starting lineups in just a moment. If you're ready now, the starting lineup tonight, first for the Cincinnati Reds. Leading off and playing center field will be Dave Collins. Batting second, Dave Concepcion at shortstop. Ken Griffey will bat third and play right field. Hitting fourth, George Foster in left. Batting number 5 at third base, Ray Knight. Hitting sixth, the catcher, Johnny Bench. Danny Dreesen will play first base and bat number 7. Hitting eighth at second base, Junior Kennedy. And batting ninth and pitching for the Reds, left-hander Joe Price. Again for the Reds, it's Collins in center field, Concepcion at shortstop, and Griffey in right field. Foster in left, Knight at third base, Bench catching. With Dreesen at first, Kennedy at second, and Price on the mound. For the homestanding Cardinals, their leadoff batter will be shortstop Gary Templeton. Batting second at second base, Tom Herr. Hitting third, Keith Hernandez at first base. Batting fourth and catching, Ted Simmons. Hitting number 5 in right field, George Hendrick. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Kenny Reitz. Dane Orge will play left field and bat number 7. Hitting eighth in center field, Tony Scott. And batting ninth and pitching for the Cardinals, left-hander Jim Kaat. Once more for St. Louis, it's Templeton at shortstop, Herr at second base, and Hernandez at first base. Simmons catching, Hendrick in right field, Reitz at third. While the bottom third again for the Cardinals will have Orge in left field, Tony Scott in center, and Jim Kaat on the mound. He's ready to go as Dave Collins steps in to lead it off for Cincinnati. Collins with 2 hits and 5 trips last night, batting .284. Kaat with a wind in the pitch, and Collins takes the ball high, and this game is underway. Dave Concepcion, Ken Griffey to bat also here in the first inning. 1-0 to Collins, and that is swung on and popped up but out of play off the right side. Reds winning 5-2 last night as lefty Charlie Leibrandt, with relief help from Tommy Hume, picked up his 6th win of the year against 3 losses. Check swing. It's over at the letters strike 2 call. And Kaat to Collins, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the Reds begin play tonight 2 games behind Houston. And all even in second place with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Collins takes it inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Very hot and very humid here in St. Louis today. And quite warm here at game time. The 2-2 to the plate. Swung on. Bouncer up the middle. And Herr can't get it. Collins opens the game with a ground single into center field. Jim Kaat waved at it. Tommy Herr went behind the second base bag to try and come up with it, but it goes on up the middle for a single, and that brings up shortstop Dave Concepcion. Davey hitting at .222, 2 homers, and 22 RBIs. He was ejected from last night's game after disputing a 3rd strike to him in the 6th inning, thrown out by the first base umpire last night, Joe West, and Joe is working the plate tonight. So Collins takes the lead at first. The pitch comes to Concepcion. Ground ball, base hit, left field. On to second base goes Collins, and the Reds have put together back-to-back hits here in the first inning off the left-hander Kaat.
Hitting third for the Reds, number 30, right fielder Ken Griffey.
So Cincinnati trying to make hay here in the first inning. With Concepcion at first, Collins at second, and Ken Griffey, the Reds right fielder, stepping in. Here's how the Cardinals look defensively. At first base, Hernandez. At second, Herr. At short, Templeton. At third, Reitz. The outfield of Orge in left, Scott in center, Hendrick in right, and Simmons catching. In fact, the same lineup that Whitey Herzog penciled into his starting lineup last night. Griffey, 2 for 5 with a run batted in the opener, hitting .294. As Kaat checks and delivers, and a check swing bouncer foul off third base. Runners take their leads. The Cardinal infield at short, second, and first. A double play depth. The third baseman Reach pulled in a bit. Griffey takes it high as Cott evens the count on him at 1 ball and 1 strike. Billy Williams, Paul Pryor, John McSherry, the umpires at first, second, and third, joining plate umpire Joe West. Give Griffey a lot of room down the left field line and also over shortstop in the left center. Cott ready, pitching. Griffey swings, fly ball, center field. Backing on it is Tony Scott. Collins goes back to second to tag up. He does, and he'll move on into third base standing. So Griffey flies to center, but deep enough to allow Collins to move up to third.
Hitting cleanup for the Reds, number 15.
That'll bring up George Foster with runners at first and third, and now 1 out. Foster hitting at .211 with 8 homers. He's driven in 26 runs. Last night went 1 for 4, had a double. Also walked 1 time, so Foster trying to get him home here in the first inning. Reds got a run in the first last night off starter and Cardinal loser Pete Vukovich. Cotto likes to work quickly, being forced to wait on the mound as Foster finally settles in there. Cott sights a sign from Simmons, a pause in the pitch. Foster takes it wide, ball 1. Collins at third, Concepcion at first. Foster takes it high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Ray Knight on deck. George waving the bat around as Cott delivers, and that one is bounced slowly towards shortstop. Here's Templeton. He'll underhand to her, and they get the force out on Concepcion as Collins comes across, and the Reds lead 1-0.
Well, Marty, it looked like Pryor was having trouble handling the ball. It looked like he almost dropped it. John McNamara is going out right now. Russ Nixon started that way, and Paul Pryor, I hope he doesn't say he's taking the ball out of his glove, because he certainly was not doing that. It looked like he was having trouble handling the ball, and Max discussing it with Paul Pryor. Paul was saying that he was taking the ball out of the glove, and I don't think he was.
Now the Reds get a run out of it as Foster hits into a force play at second to pick up his 27th RBI. He's a lone base runner now as Mac heads back toward the dugout and talking with Coach Russ Nixon. Here's Ray Knight. Ray hitting .278, 1 for 5, a run batted in last night, his 34th. He's hit 6 home runs. Cott kicks and throws. Knight taking just below the knees. Ball 1. Reds with a record of 32 wins and 25 losses, this being game number 58. The Cardinals have won 20 and lost 36, the worst record in the National League. High bouncer to third. Reach throwing to second. Force play there, and the inning is over. The Reds get 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. After a half inning of play, the Reds won. The Cardinals coming to bat. 1-0 to the plate. Bench swings and grounds to third. Reach deep. Let's fly to Hernandez. 1 out. Johnny Bench out. Ground ball. Third to first. That brings up Dan Dreesen.
Number 22. First baseman.
Danny 1 for 2 in the opening game. He's hitting .275. Dreesen last night had an infield hit, walked intentionally twice, scored a run, was also hit by a pitch, so he was very active on the base paths. Call strike. Breaking ball gets the outside corner for strike 2 call. And Cott wheels and deals, and Dreesen fouls it off. Cott not quite as fast a worker now as he was a few years ago when we saw him pitch regularly in that Philadelphia rotation. Not the fastest worker in baseball at that time. High and inside. Dreesen goes down. A man who has chalked up 265 lifetime wins in Major League Baseball. Been a 20-game winner 3 times, won 25 in 1966 with Minnesota, and then had back-to-back 20-game wins in 74 and 75, won 21, lost 13 in 74, and was 20 and 14 in 1975. He's out in front, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and pitching to Dreesen. Swung on, hit well into right center field. Going back is Hendrick, and it's off the wall. Dreesen comes on to second base, and hustling, he's in there safely. Boy, I'll tell you, Hendrick let fly from deep right center field, and Danny had to turn it on with a quick burst at the last moment to beat a good throw to Gary Templeton and get a double out of it.
That was an excellent throw by Hendricks, playing the ball very well off the wall. That wall's padded out there, and you don't get that real hard bounce back, and Danny had to turn on the afterburner to get in there.
He sure did. So the Reds now have 3 base hits off cut. 1 out double by Dreesen brings up Kennedy. Reds second baseman and right-handed batter takes ball 1. Kennedy hitting .290, getting that average back up there last night on the strength of a 2-for-3 evening and a run batted in. Now the Reds lead 1-0 and trying to get Dreesen home here in the second. Kennedy hits it in the air to right field. Hendrick will have no problem with this one, and he's got it for the second out. We'll pause now for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network. Here's Joe Price with 2 out in his first major league at-bat. He swings and fouls it away right side. Really, this young man coming out of nowhere. He was not on the Reds' 40-man major league roster. Not in the big league camp during spring training, rather the minor league camp, but did a job at Indianapolis, and he fouls the next pitch off, a bouncer outside of third for strike 2. I'm talking with him before the game and was pointing out how well and quickly Bruce Bereni has started to come now. That Bereni had 13 strikeouts in his last outing. Joe Price had 11 in 7 innings, of which he gave up 4 base hits, but lost the game to Denver 3-0. Gave up a 3-run home run in that game. He bounces it slowly over the mound, charging his Templeton, bare hands, and throws, and got him, and that ends the inning. Good play by Gary Templeton. Knocked the Reds off in the second. No runs, 1 hit and 1 left, and after an inning and a half, it's the Reds 1 and the Cardinals nothing. Check swing on a slow breaking ball. George was able to hold up in time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cott kicks, throws. Foster takes it high, 2-1. Well, we talked about the fact Joe Price has not struck anybody out. Neither has Cott, although he's walked a couple. Foster grounds it hard into right field for a base hit. Well, Foster gets his 6th underway with a single to right. That's hit number 5 for the Reds. Ray Knight hit into a force play that ended the first and lined hard to reach in the 4th inning. Stretching the pitch. Ball 1. Well, Jim Cott has done just about everything there is to do in Major League Baseball. He's played in World Series, been on all-star teams. Here's a high fly, hit to right field. Running hard, foul territory, Hendrick, and pulls up and makes the catch. Good play by George Hendrick, boy. He stopped on a dime down beyond the Cardinal bullpen and grabbed Knight's fly ball and then brought that throw quickly back into the infield to keep Foster from moving to second.
Number 5.
1 out, Johnny Bench has grounded out and drawn a base on balls. I think one of the most impressive statistics about Cott is the fact that for 16 consecutive years, he was a Gold Glove winner between 1962 and 1977. Talking about the fact he's only one of 6 to play in 4 decades, the other being Willie McCovey, Mickey Vernon, Ted Williams, Early Wynn, and Minnie Minoso. Bench pulls it foul at third. Foster single to right. Knight has flied out to Hendrick in foul territory in right. Johnny Bench, who last night hit career home run number 341. 33rd on the all-time list, 1 behind former Cub infielder Ron Santo. 1 ball, 1 strike. And of course, John, with that homer last night, gives him 308 as a catcher, which puts him now 5 short of Yogi Berra's major league record of 313. That's too low. 2-1. Well, you got to like Bench's chances of becoming the top home run hitting catcher in all time sometime during the course of this 1980 season. Kind of into a stretch. Checks Foster, delivers. Bench takes it on the inside edge of strike. 2-2. In the 7th at Pittsburgh, Houston and Nolan Ryan leading the Pirates 4-1. In the bottom of the 6th at Montreal, Dodgers 8, Expos nothing. Here in St. Louis, 1-1 score in the 8th and the 6th inning. Bench drills it fair down the left field line. Ball just got past the glove of Kenny Reeds. Foster coming on to third. Bench heading towards second with a stand-up double. And the Reds are threatening with runners at second and third and one out.
9,844, 29844. Total in the statement 31,036. 31,036.
Here's Danny Dreesen now, second and third. Dreesen takes a breaking ball from Cott outside. 31,036 here tonight. 31,036. Foster at third, Bench at second. Dreesen waiting on Cott. He swings. He drives one to right field. Hendrick will make the catch. Foster will tag. He'll come on to score, and the Reds take a 2-1 lead. Line drive, sacrifice fly to right field by Danny Dreesen, who hit it a bunch. Danny picks up an RBI, his 30th of the season. The Reds lead by a run.
Concepcion leads at second. Griffey at first. Littlefield has the sign, the stretch. He delivers. Foster swings, bounces up the middle into center field, a base hit. Charging the ball, Tony Scott. Being waved in is Concepcion. He'll score, and the Reds lead it 3-2. Now, George Foster wastes no time jumping on the first pitch delivered by John Littlefield and singles to center to score Concepcion with the go-ahead run. George's second RBI of the game gives him 8 on the year, and Ray Knight the batter. First time we've looked at John Littlefield, but Foster wastes no time at all. Dreesen at, or I should say Griffey at second base, Foster at first, and Knight at the plate. Ray 0 for 3 tonight. Little John Littlefield's stretch and a pitch. He sent it to knees, a call strike. John Littlefield, right-hander in relief of Jim Cott. The Reds have taken a 3-2 lead here in the 7th. Delivers the 0-1. Knight swings, bounces it right back to Littlefield. Going back to her, over to first to Hernandez, and Keith is able to stay on the bag, and that's the double play. It goes 1-4-3 on the double play, so the Reds get a run on 2 hits. There were no errors. A runner left on base, and at the middle of the 7th, Cincinnati 3, St. Louis 2.
Spillman checks his swing. Ball 1 is low.
59 for total, 2 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 4 earned. 1 walk intentional, 1 strikeout, 1 wild pitch.
1-0 to the plate. That's over for a strike. So Mario Soto, 2 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. A strikeout and intentional walk. Stands to lose his second of the year unless the Reds can come back here. Swing and a miss. Spillman behind, ball 1, strike 2. Littlefield rocks, kicks, and fires, and just fouled away by Harry. Pittsburgh got 2 in the bottom of the 8th, but still trailed by 2. Houston now batting in the 9th inning, leading 5-3. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That is the first strikeout for a Cardinal pitcher tonight. Here's Dave Concepcion. He's 1 for 3 with a walk, and he scored a run. Bluffs a bunt, takes a strike. Well, Littlefield means business right now. Young man with a 541 earned run average, but has appeared in but 3 games and got a chance to get his second win without a loss. That is strike 2 call. Both pitches down around the knees. Concepcion not looking very aggressive at the plate here in a situation where you almost have to be. He hits one hard, but at the second baseman. Her goes to Hernandez, 2 down. So it's up to Ken Griffey to try and keep us going. Griffey was shut out his first 3 times up, but lined a single to right in the 7th. Well, how about a single for Griffey and a home run by Foster? Littlefield kicks and fires. Griffey takes a strike. Outfield for the Cardinals really spread out. Swung on and hit hard to right field. Hendrick running, and he'll make the catch to end the game on the warning track. He caught that ball. So the Reds are out in order in the 9th inning. The Cardinals come from behind to take the second game of this 3-game series. The final score, St. Louis 4, Cincinnati 3. And we'll be back in just a moment. Reds jumped out in front early tonight. They plated a run against left-hander Jim Cott, who was a last-minute fill-in for right-hander John Fulgham. Dave Collins opened the game with a base hit. Dave Concepcion single to left. And when Griffey flied to center, Collins advanced to third and then scored when Foster hit into a forced play at second base. It stayed that way. Some fine pitching by Joe Price. He did not allow a Cardinal base hit until Gary Templeton led off the 4th with a single to left. Price promptly picked him off. And the next base hit for the Cardinals was the one that tied it up. A 1-out home run in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 13th of the season for George Hendrick down the left field line to even the count at 1-1. Then the seesawing started back and forth. The Reds went out in front of the 6th inning on a single by Foster, a 1-out double to left field by Johnny Bench, and a sacrifice fly by Danny Dreesen. Cardinals countered with a run to tie it up in the bottom of the 6th inning, a double to lead it off by Tony Scott, a Jim Cott sacrifice, and a base hit to left field by Gary Templeton. Reds broke the tie in the 7th inning. With 1 down, Dave Concepcion coaxed a walk-off of Cott. Ken Griffey then singled to right field. At that point, Waddy Herzog brought the rookie right-hander John Littlefield on, and he promptly served up a base hit to George Foster, his second hit of the night and his second RBI of the evening, and that gave the Reds a 3-2 lead. Ray Knight then hit into a double play to end the inning. At that point, Joe Price was lifted in favor of Mario Soto, and the Cardinals wasted no time at all in getting out in front. Keith Hernandez hit the first pitch off the wall in center field for a double. He rode home on a double by Ted Simmons down the right field line. And later, Simmons scored what proved to be the winning run on a Soto wild pitch. A 2-run 7th for the Cardinals. They were out in front 4-3. Reds got a 1-out double from Dreesen in the 8th inning. But Littlefield got Kennedy on a fly to center. Geronimo on a line drive to right. And then the Reds went out 1-2-3 in the 9th. Griffey the final out when Hendrick caught his line drive on the warning track in right field. The Cardinals on the evening had 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. They stranded only 3. The Reds with 3 runs, 9 hits, errorless baseball. For the 12th consecutive game now, the Reds have not committed an error, and right now they stand 3 away from their own major league mark, set back in 1975 when they played 15 consecutive ball games without an error. Tonight was their 12th in a row. The Reds stranded 9. The winner, Littlefield, 2-0. The loser, Soto, 0-2. Final game coming up tomorrow afternoon. Tom Seaver goes to the mound for Cincinnati. He's 2-4 on the year. The Cardinals will pitch another left-hander, Bobby Sykes. He's 1-1 and lost 5. We'll be on the air with the pregame shows on most of these same stations beginning at 1:45 Cincinnati time. Again, the final score tonight in a game that took 2 hours and 13 minutes to play before a crowd of 31,036. The Cardinals 4 and the Reds 3.